Hello everyone. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about the complete details of your IFSCA Grade A syllabus. So let's start the discussion. We all know that your phase 1 exam is scheduled on 11th of October 2025 and your phase 2 examination is 15th of November 2025. In your phase 1, you are having paper 1 and paper 2. In your paper 2, you are having GA, English, Quant and Reasoning, 25 marks each, right? And in your paper 2, again, you are having multiple subjects related to your general stream. In your phase 2, there will be again English descriptive test where you need to write précis writing, essay writing and comprehension, and in your phase 2 again you will be having some of the professional subjects like IFSCA Act, Union Budget, Economic Survey, Banking, Capital Market and so on, right? In this particular video, I am going to decode your syllabus and I'll be sharing a preparation strategy as well related to how you should approach your IFSCA syllabus. So let's start the discussion. So the first thing that I need to tell you is they have given paper 2 syllabus both in phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 paper 2 and phase 2 paper 2 syllabus is clearly explicitly given in the notification, but they haven't mentioned the paper 1 syllabus of phase 1, which is Quant, GA and Reasoning and English. Okay, so I'll be also telling you some of the topics that you can prepare for your paper 1 of your phase 1. So let's start with the paper 2 of phase 1. So here you can see that general knowledge, current affairs of national and international importance is also there. So I can say that again this is a very good stuff, because if you see here in your paper 1 already you are studying the general awareness, right? And again in the paper 2 of the same phase 1, you need to again have a look at the general awareness and the current affairs related to national and international importance. So this will again compound. Whatever you are studying for paper 1 will be helpful for paper 2 as well because of this first topic. Then we have economic and social development. So topics like sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, all the things you need to cover. So growth and development, social structure in India. These are basic ESI related topics. Then you are having commerce and accountancy. Very crucial topic for your examination. Now guys, if I talk about commerce and accountancy and if I try to compare this particular IFSC examination with PFRDA or with SEBI examination, the level of commerce and accountancy is not that of SEBI and PFRDA, though definitely they can give you higher level questions as well. Still, based on the previous year question analysis, I don't feel that they are going to ask you super tough questions, which they sometimes ask in SEBI and PFRDA. So the level will be moderate, easy to moderate. Okay, what you need to study here: basics of accounting. What do you mean by accounting? What are the approaches of accounting? Modern rule, traditional rule, concept of depreciation, some of the accounting standards. Don't go into too much detail. You need to have a very quick overview of all the topics, right? Though in the paid course I'll be covering each and everything. Still, I can say the easy to moderate level will be there in the case of commerce and accountancy based on the previous year question analysis. Cash flow statement, fund flow statement, financial analysis, again these can be some of the important topics. And next is accounting for share capital transaction, ESOPs, buyback, right issue, bonus share. Now this is company accounts. Okay, this is a portion of company accounts. So if I tell you what to study, give a higher amount of preference to this particular topic related to basics, related to depreciation, related to fixed assets, inventories, cash flow statement, preparation and presentation of final accounts. I will always advise you guys to please have a very strong base of accounting. Why? Because it will help you is this examination. Many questions are directly coming from the basics of accounting, right? So have a quick understanding of what the basics of accounting is, what are the rules of accounting, concepts and conventions of accounting. You'll be getting majority of the questions from your basics of accounting. And once you are done with the basics, then you can move to the concept of depreciation, fixed asset and inventories once. Once you are done with that, go ahead with the revenue recognition. After that, you can study the preparation and presentation of final accounts, cash flow statement, ratio analysis and financial statement analysis. And in case if you are having some time, right, still you are having some time, then you can move to these topics like share capital transaction, ESOP, buyback and so on. Okay, so this should be your priority level, because we have seen that in the previous year question paper, they have asked most of the questions related to the basics, right? Why? Because this is not the sole subject, this is not the only subject, it is one of the portion of your paper 2. So it's not like that you will be getting all the questions from commerce and accountancy. So please always study based on the weightage. Again, it's a highly scoring subject, right? And in case of any issues, you can always reach out to me for this subject at least. If I talk about management, again, basics of management, motivation, communication, corporate governance. These will be your most important topics. Okay, let's start with the basics of management. So here you need to just know about the management process, what is the nature, what is the scope, planning, organizing, staffing, direction, functions of management, basically controlling. Then you have leadership style, human resource development, concept of HRD, motivation, communication. So majority of the times I have seen that in competitive examination they are giving you questions from directly motivation and communication and the theories related to that. Okay, so again, it's a theory subject, it's a complete theory subject. Revision is the game. Once you are able to do the course, then multiple revision is the only gain, right? The number of times you will revise this subject, the better you will be performing in the examination. It's about theory, right? It's about learning the theory. In commerce and accountancy, it's learning about theory, learning the practical and how to apply that theory on the practical. Okay, so definitely the approach will change. If I talk about finance, again, they have divided finance into 3 parts: financial system, markets, general topics. The most important topics for you guys will be financial markets, right? Primary and secondary market. Then in general topics, derivatives, very, very important. Recent developments in financial sector. Why? Because this is a new regulator. Though it's been time, still it's a new regulator. If I talk in front of SEBI and RBI, obviously ये थोड़ा सा नया regulator है उनके सामने. So यहाँ पे recent developments भी ज़्यादा होते हैं, right? There are many recent developments as well in this particular regulatory body. So you need to learn it very well. Then indirect taxes के अंदर you need to know about the GST Council meeting that held recently, right? What were the changes in the GST which was recently introduced, right? So please do read about that as well. Inflation again can be an important topic. So inflation, basics of derivative, financial system, these will be the most important topics here. Recent developments as well. Okay, these will be the most important topics here, though you need to study each and everything. And guys, please try to study more and more dynamic portion. It will help you in the paper 1 of general awareness plus the paper 2 finance as well. Okay, please try to read more and more of dynamic portion rather than just the static portion. Okay, so here in the first part we can see financial system, how the entire financial system functions, what are the functions of different regulatory bodies, what are the function of IFSCA, SEBI, RBI. Financial market, if you want to raise capital, if you are a corporate entity, you want to raise capital for the first time, you need to go to the primary market, right? If you want your securities to get traded on exchange, so you need to opt for secondary market. Again, very crucial topic. Then we have general topics, basics of derivative. Why derivatives are important? Because there are so many, I can say, amendments or new updates coming from the regulator, capital market regulator SEBI. So again, it can be a very important topic for your examination, right? Then recent developments in financial sector, financial inclusion, alternate source of finance, private public partnership. Coming to this particular E point, you need to just have a basic understanding of the direct and indirect tax, and I'll suggest you guys to just have a quick look at the recent things that happened in direct tax, recent highlights, right? A new direct tax act is coming into picture, new income tax law, right? Plus, if I talk about GST, then there are major structural changes in the GST law. They have reduced the slab rates. Again, you need to know about that. Inflation, again, RBI has very well controlled the inflation, so you need to have a basic understanding of what inflation is, what are the types of inflation, and what is the current trend and numbers related to inflation. And then we have financial risk management. So again, finance, I can say majority of the finance, more than majority of your finance is a theory finance. You can easily do it. Coming to costing, again a very scoring topic for those who are not having the background of finance or commerce or costing. No worries at all. What you guys can do is first start with basics of costing, complete theory. basics of costing, then directly move to the lean system. Okay, so what will be the priority level? First you need to cover this portion, basics of costing. What is cost? What are the classifications of cost on the basis of different criteria? What is management accounting? What is cost accounting? What is the scope of these things? Then you can move to the lean system and innovation, because majority of the times the questions are majorly coming from your lean system. You can have a look at the PFRD examination as well. They've asked the phase 1 question majorly from the basics of costing and lean system. Once you are done with it, then you can do the methods of costing. What will be the sequence? Unit costing, job costing, batch costing, process costing. Just have a basic understanding of these topics, right? Then you can move to the marginal costing and budgetary system. Once you are done with this much, you can go ahead with the rest of the topics. That will be the strategy. But first cover the basics of costing and the lean system. Once you are done with these topics, I can say that already you are able to cover 60 to 65% of the questions that will be coming in your examination based on the past trend, right? But I'm not telling you guys to leave any topic. You need to do each and every topic. Why? Because whenever we are covering multiple topics, we are just increasing the surface area of your lug. Nobody knows what can come in the examination. We are just doing a best guess based on the previous year question papers. Then you are having Indian economy and global economy. So demand and supply, basic concepts of economics basically. Demand and supply, what are the market structures, national income, classical and Keynesian approach, right? Investment functions, demand and supply of money. So even if you are not having the economic background, no problem at all. Demand and supply, market structure, demand and supply of money, ISLM inflation, Philip curve, business cycle. These can be some of the topics that you can easily do. Now then we have the macro part as well, like the balance of payment details, forex market. So you need to know the balance of payment data as of now of the financial year, and recently also RBI on 1st of September, I think they have released the balance of payment data, right? So you can definitely have a quick reading of that as well. Then we have monetary and fiscal policy. Again, we used to have it in finance subject as well, non-banking financial institutions and other international financial institution roll off like BIS, IOSCO, IMF and World Bank and so on, right? So again, I can say that economics is all about theory. So finance, economics, management, these are theory subjects. You can easily ace this. Even if I talk about costing, 65% of the portion of costing is nothing but theory only. Then coming to your paper 1 of your phase 1, these are the topics that generally being asked in the competitive examination. So you can prepare these topics, right? Percentage, ratio, proportion, simplification, ratio, profit and loss, time and work, simple interest, compound interest. These are the topics that are frequently being asked in the quant. These are the topics of reasoning. You can have a quick look, right? The syllabus is not disclosed of these. General awareness, and you can see in the paper 1 in general awareness, they have clearly written that specifically from the financial sector, right? With more focus on the financial sector. So you need to learn the finance current affairs as well. Okay. So I'm already taking the finance current affairs. You can join my session on every Thursday, on every Friday at 8 p.m. Okay. And rest of the general awareness topics can be definitely PIB, newspaper, government initiatives, MOUs, right? Related to sports, related to award and milestone, but I will advise you guys to focus more on finance current affairs. Then we do have English, right? So this is for your paper 1. Obviously your phase 2 paper 1 is having the descriptive. This is for your phase 1 paper 1. These are the general topics that you need to study for the English. Coming to the paper 2 of phase 2. Here we are having IFSCA Act, IFSC, right? So you need to understand, you need to have a basic understanding of what this regulatory body is all about, what they are actually doing, the functions of this regulatory body, what is GIFT IFSCA, what is GIFT City, what is the Global Financial Center, right? A basic understanding of areas around IFSCA. Then union budget, you need to have strong understanding, banking related things like structure and functions of institution. So now this particular portion is a common portion, I can say, right? This portion you have already studied in the finance subject. So there are topics that are overlapping, I can say. Here is the finance subject, you can have a look. These are the some of the overlapping topics only. These topics are getting overlapped, right? Some topics you have, majority of the topics you have covered in the finance only. Coming to the capital market, again this portion is also getting repeated. This will again give you a compounding effect. Why? Because you have studied capital market, financial market chapter in the finance part in only. Insurance related understanding is also required here. So what is the history of insurance? What are the principles of insurance? Risk and uncertainty and concepts like these can be also very, very important for you guys, right? Have a look at the reinsurance sector as well, like what is the business of reinsurance, how they do it, what are the functions of different insurer, right? We are having GICRE as the sole reinsurer. However, the monopoly is now broken by, I think recently the monopoly was broken by ValueAtix, I think, right? ValueAtix. ओके, ValueAtix करके एक री इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है, प्राइवेट सेक्टर प्लेयर है, जिसको यहाँ पे अभी IRDAI ने नया री इंश्योरेंस बनाया है. ओके, सो ये दोनों मिलके अभी री इंश्योरेंस करती हैं, तो ये चीज़ें आपको यहाँ पे पता होनी चाहिए, रिसेंट अपडेट्स लाइक दैट. Plus, if you have already appeared for the PFRDA, then definitely it will help you because you are having pension sector. So topics like status of the pension sector, Atal Pension Yojana, NPS, basics of investments, annuity plans are also there in your syllabus. If you are looking for mentorship, here we have launched a crash course for IFSCA Grade A. This is both for your phase 1 and phase 2 preparation. You can have a look at the course highlights. The medium will be completely in English. So you can join this if you need mentorship. So thank you so much guys. In case of any query, you can always reach out to me. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, bye bye. Take care.